South Africa is at a pivotal diplomatic crossroads. This isn't just political theater. International Relations Minister Ronald Lamola recently announced that by the end of 2025, Cabinet will decide whether to permanently shut down Israel's embassy in Pretoria. This follows a sweeping parliamentary motion adopted in November 2023, in which 248 lawmakers voted to downgrade the embassy to mere visa and travel services, a symbolic gesture of protest, and suspend all diplomatic and political ties until a ceasefire in Gaza is achieved. After that parliamentary vote, Israel withdrew its ambassador from Pretoria for consultations, a clear sign of diplomatic escalation. Since then, the mission has been operating at a minimal level, stripped of its full political, diplomatic, and even economic functions. The next big chapter is up to the cabinet, not parliament. This isn't just procedural. Minister Lamola underscored that the closure decision must reflect South Africa's constitutional sovereignty, made with national interest, policy, and international law at its core, not under external pressure. He emphasized the government is deeply consulting across departments before presenting a memorandum to cabinet. In December 2023, South Africa took an unprecedented legal move, filing a case at the International Court of Justice accusing Israel of genocide in Gaza, based on the Genocide Convention. This case has attracted global attention, and many states, including Egypt, Ireland, and Brazil, have joined. The government argues that economic sanctions, diplomatic pressure, and legal accountability all play a role in pushing for justice and ending violence. Back home, public sentiment is intense. Massive marches unfolded. Cape Town saw thousands protesting, even erecting a statue of Desmond Tutu donning a Palestinian keffiyeh, and civil society is pressing leaders to take concrete action. But this move isn't without controversy. The South African Jewish Board of Deputies warns that severing diplomatic ties could harm vital trade relations, stifle foreign investment, and undermine dual consular access for citizens. It's a classic clash, moral foreign policy versus economic and legal stability. Trade data underscores the costs. Israel was once South Africa's largest African trading partner. Bilateral trade dipped from over $1 billion in 2010 to about $407 million by 2019. Today, Israeli enterprises still operate in Johannesburg and Pretoria, even with restricted diplomatic channels. Historical ties reveal nuance. Relations have swung from international support for South Africa's anti-apartheid struggle through strategic military cooperation during the 1970s. But post-apartheid governments have maintained a steadfast pro-Palestinian stance. Even Nelson Mandela was critical of Israel's treatment of Palestinians during his 1994 visit. Diplomatic precedent is important. If the embassy is shut, South Africa becomes one of the few nations to fully sever ties with Israel amid the Gaza conflict. The ICJ case may set a global precedent for what constitutes genocide and how powerful nations respond. The actions of BRICS nations, the EU, G7, Egypt, and others are already shifting pressure in the region, and South Africa could become the moral compass. However, trade and investment in mining, tech, tourism, all could be disrupted by diplomatic fallout. The ANC is firmly behind the resolution, but voices in parliament and business warn of unintended consequences. Minister Lamola confirms a final decision must happen by year-end. Will it be a full embassy closure or just maintaining the downgrade? South Africa isn't ruling out additional economic measures, though they stress these must align with global partners. Expect rounds of rulings or provisional measures at the ICJ. Already, arguments from around the world have bolstered Pretoria's position. Will Israel resume its ambassador? Or will it justify reciprocal downgrades based on South Africa's actions? The protests, activism, and debates are still vibrant, and may sway government action. To my YouTube family, this is diplomatic drama fueled by history, law, economics, and heart. South Africa isn't just making headlines, It's shaping global norms about justice, accountability, and the role of middle powers. If you want exclusive deep dives, myth-busting, and up-to-the-minute updates on this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Drop your questions or thoughts in the comments. Do you think South Africa should shut the embassy? Or is this a step too far? Your voice matters here. I'll be covering the cabinet ruling live, breaking down the legal developments, and showing what all of this means for the world and for you. Stay informed. Stay engaged. And I'll see you next time.